carcinoma. That's as far as I got.
I like the but.
Yeah, it's kind of, on a peg.
I don't know. It feels to me like it could use some punching up.
Well, you can always throw a few jokes in later on. You gotta get the through line first.
But is it Hamlet?
Don't ask me. I'm just a chimp.
They could have given us a clue or something.
Yeah, or a story conference.
But that would defeat the whole purpose of the experiment.
I know. 3 monkeys typing into infinity will sooner or later produce Hamlet.
Right.
Completely by chance.
And Dr. David Rosenbaum up in that booth, he's gonna prove it.
But what is Hamlet?
I don't know.
What is Hamlet?
I don't know.
You know, this is really stupid.
Have you got anything better to do in this cage? The sooner we produce the goddamn thing, the sooner we get out.
And sort of publisher Barrett with a twist.
What do we owe this Rosenbaum anyway? The guy who stands outside these bars and says, that one's Milton, that one's Swift, that one's Kafka.
Well, what's a Kafka anyway? Why am I a Kafka?
Search me.
What's a Kafka?
All his four-eyed friends sure think it's a stitch.
And how are we supposed to write Hamlet if we don't even know what it is?
Okay, so the chances are a little slim.
Yeah, and this from a guy who's supposed to be smart. This from a guy from Columbia University.
The way I see it, there's a providence that oversees our cages. Rough draft on how we lay.
Well, how about you, Bill? What do you got?
Let's see. Of man's first disobedience, and the fruit of that forbidden tree, whose mortal taste brought death into the...
Oh, that's really good! It's got good, it really sings!
Yeah?
But is it Shakespeare?
Who cares? He's got a real voice here!
Does Dr. Rosenbaum care about voice? Does he care about anyone's individual creativity?
Well, let's try to see this from Rosenbaum's point of view.
No! He brings us in here to produce copy, and all he wants is a clean draft of somebody else's stuff. We're getting peanuts here to be somebody's hack.
Writing is a month's game anyway, Swifty.
Well, it has made me that.
Why don't you just buckle down and get the project over with? Set up a schedule for yourself. Type for a couple of hours in the morning when you're fresh, and take a break. Let the old juices flow. Do a couple more hours in the evening, and retire for a shot of papaya and some masturbation. What's the big deal?
If this Rosenbaum was worth anything, we'd be working on laptops, not these antiques. He's lucky he could find 3 of us that type this good. And then he treats us like those misfits at the Bronx Zoo. I mean, a tire swing? What does he take us for?
I like the tire swing. I thought it was a nice touch.
That can't work under these conditions. There's no wonder I'm producing garbage.
Well, what else have you got, Milton?
What, this?
Here, here's some more.
Blah, blah, blah. Whose mortal taste brought death into the Lamagam. Bed socks, not worst, Tinkerbell. What do you think?
Lamb is good.
I don't know.
Well, what is it? The tone? I knew this was kind of a stretch for me.
I'm just not sure it has the same expressive intensity and pungent lyricism as the first part.
Well, sure, it'll need some rewrites. What doesn't? This is just a rough draft. Oh, lights out!
Ah, this bit.
What?
I don't know, I can't see. I got my paws over my eyes.
What?
Why do they videotape our bowel movements?
What?
Lights off.
So how about you, Franz? What have you got?
Well, K, 20 lines of that.
At least it'll fuck up his data.
20 lines of that went dry. Got blocked. Started to feel like I was repeating myself.
Do you think it's in Hamlet?
I don't even understand what I'm doing here in the first place. I'm not a writer of a monkey. I should be swinging from branches and digging up ants, not sitting under fluorescent lights 10 hours a day.
It sure is a long way off to the sweet gardens of Africa, where lawns and level downs and flocks grazing the tender herb are sweetly interposed.
Paradise, wasn't it?
Lost.
Lost.
Well, I'm trying to touch on some of that in this new piece here, but it's all still pretty close to the bone.
Just because they can keep us locked up, they think that makes them more powerful than we are.
They are more powerful than we are.
Just because they control the means of production, that they think that means they can oppress the workers.
Things are how they are. What are you gonna do?
Hey! How come you're always so goddamn ready to defend the ways of Rosenbaum to the apes?
Do you have a key for that door?
No.
Do you have an independent food source?
No.
So call me a collaborator. I happen to be a professional. And if Rosenbaum wants Hamlet, I'll give it a shot. Just don't forget, we're not astrophysicists. We're not brain surgeons. We're chimps. And for apes in captivity, this ain't a bad gig.
What's really frightening is if we stick around this cage long enough, we're gonna evolve into Rosenbaum.
Childhood or Rosenbaum?
Brush up on your Darwin, baby. We're more than kin and less than kind.
Does anybody ever smoke?
No, I'm all out.
Don't look at me. I'm not gonna satisfy these voyeurs with the old smoking chimp act.
Don't be a sap, Swifty. You gotta use them. Use the system.
What do you mean?
Watch me while I put my anti-disposition on. See what I mean? Galleries, too. My fave.
They should have thrown in a Cupid for that performance.
It got results, didn't it?
Yeah. You do your bonzo routine and get a Galloway's out of it. Last week I totaled a typewriter and I got a whole carton of Marlboros.
The problem was you didn't smoke them. You took a crap on them.
It was a political statement.
Well, you made your statement, and I got my smokes. All's well that ends, well, right?
It's the only way we know they're watching.
What?
We perform, we bring typewriters, we type a page, and cigarette abuse. At least we know that someone out there is paying attention.
Our resident philosopher.
What if one of us actually doesn't? I mean, here we are, set down to prove the inadvertent virtues of randomness, to produce something we wouldn't even recognize if it passed right through our hands. What if one of us actually doesn't?
Will we actually be released?
Will they give us the key to the city and a ticker tape parade?
Or will they move us on to Ulysses? What's the big deal with Hamlet anyway? What's Hamlet to them or they to Hamlet that we should care? Boy, there's the respect that makes calamity of so long a life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the laws, the
Swifty! Hey, Swifty, relax, will ya?
Hey, banana!
I'd like to get that Rosenbaum down here, see how well he does at producing Hamlet. That's it!
What?
That's it! Forget about this random Hamlet crap. What about revenge? Who else? Has indeed bereft us of our homes and families, stepped in between us and our expectations.
Well, how would we do it?
Easy. We lure them down here and test out the typewriters like something's wrong, but we poison the typewriter keys.
Oh, Jesus.
Sure, some juice of cursed heaven spread liberally on the keyboard ought to do the trick.
Brilliant.
And if that doesn't work, we invented the tire swing and invite him for a ride.
Great! Just great!
Plus, I challenge him to a duel. In the course of combat, I casually graze my rapier over the typewriter keys and a hit, a palpable hit. For a reserve, we lay by a cup with some venomous distilment. We put the pellet, with the poison, in the vessel, with the pestle!
Well, I better get back to my writing. The man's gonna want his pages.
It's not a bad idea, but
What's the matter with you guys? I'm on to something here!
I think it's hopeless, Swiftly.
But this is the goods!
Red Sox, Knockwurst, Tinkerbell.
The readiness is all, I suppose.
Damn straight, honey. Let me know when that K button gives out on you.
Alright, you two serfs go back to work. I'll go all bitching around here. Swifty, revenge.
Tinkerbell. Doppelschwanz.